Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chuckie, here as always with my grabby, baggy guy, the boy.
Hey, that one was a little weak.
When was the last good one I had?
You know what? I can't remember.
Welcome to the Super Happy Funtime Nosebleed Hour. I am again bleeding from the face, but I am more stable. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Shining Wasato, Super Blizzard. The Bandcamp link is in the description. You can go there and buy up all of his beautiful musical tracks and give him some thanks for letting us use Let's Get Hardcore. That's our theme music. He gave it to us for freezies.
And don't forget to support Puppet Kingdom if you can.
Yeah, and he does other stuff too. Just Puppet Kingdom's the one I'm interested in. He's doing like a wrestling project, like a wrestling video game, but it's like Minecraft style, like visually.
That should be interesting.
I don't know, because I never got into Fire Pro because I just don't care. Also, it's like so obscure, it's kind of hard to get in the States without actually going out and looking for it. Like, that might be an impulse buy for me, but it would never be like, I gotta go get Fire Pro. Even though they're like, by and large, the best wrestling games on the market. We'll get into the rest of the podcast. Comment, favorite, subscribe, tickle. Don't tickle. Circulate those links. You can subscribe to us on Twitter. I'm pretty sure there's a link to the forum in the description. There's nothing really going on there, but you can go there and start shit.
And a correction from last week. The podcast program, the rat poison thing, it will save your podcast there, but they do open in YouTube. I was pretty disappointed to learn that, but I wanted to make sure you, the listener, understood that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I found that out. But they do open in YouTube, which makes them slightly less convenient, because you can always just go to YouTube and go there. But it's one convenient place to put all your podcasts, and you can add us in there if you.
Well, at least we still get used that way.
Yep.
This week, we don't have a hard topic.
We talked and didn't really have any one topic that grabbed our interest like we usually have, so...
Well, now we did have one, and I think I'd like to talk about it long enough to get our feelings on the subject. My partner here suggested that we talk about The Walking Dead, as it's been pretty good this season.
It has been. It opened with a bang.
Yeah, it's been a really good season. But it's not like the Game of Thrones podcast where...
Yeah, alright, the big driver behind the Game of Thrones podcast, for those of you who listen to it, probably already know this, but for those
if
of you who...
not, it's...
Go back, listen to it.
It's beautiful.
It's actually probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's one of our better
ones. Was pretty driven behind me interviewing him about his wackadoo opinions about Game of Thrones and all the weird characters he likes and all the characters who everyone hates that he loves and all that sort of thing. The characters he loves that everyone else hates.
And the fact that I hate Jon Snow.
Yes, he hates Jon Snow.
So much.
I'm convinced he's going to like Jon Snow eventually. I won't quite guarantee it.
There's plenty of room for me to hate him purely out of spite.
Yeah, that's why I won't guarantee it.
I think more likely I just won't feel as though he's redeemed himself no matter what he does.
That'd be a fair opinion to have for you. But anyway, with Walking Dead, neither of us, we love all the characters everyone else loves. This is, for me, Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. I guess I'm just super boring, but I like Daryl. I like Michonne. You do too.
Yeah, I like Tyrese is my favorite character right now.
Tyrese, yeah. That's a little weird. Most people's favorite characters, Daryl, Rick, Michonne. You don't hear a lot of Tyrese.
I like Rick. I like Carl now.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah. Carl became cool once he became Carl Papa, but...
the thing about that show is I like it as a narrative. So, like, if I had to pick a favorite character, yeah, definitely Tyrese. Easy answer. But I love shitty characters, like awful people in that show, because they serve to make the plot more interesting.
Whereas in many shows with awful people, they just serve to make the plot more awful.
Yeah. And Game of Thrones has a little bit of that. Like, I liked Joffrey as a tool.
I did not.
But
he was a tool.
But no, I liked the way he served the plot, and he caused animosity and antagonism. But I didn't like him as a character, like as a person. Fuck him. We don't really have much to say about The Walking Dead.
Well, there's the stuff we could say. We could talk about zombies in general, what they, how they are. But we talked a lot about that during the horror podcast.
Yeah, we did really get pretty deep into why zombie movies work, why they're kind of going out of style.
we could talk about zombie apocalypse stuff and, the hypothetical, what would you do to survive in that situation? But
I think that's so personal. Because it'd
Yeah.
be like, we'd go to so-and-so you've never heard of's house. Yeah, so-and-so you've never
Well,
heard of.
I mean,
They're great.
more so than that, I don't want to tell you that, listener. That's my plan.
Well, yeah, that too.
Now, you don't get my super secret zombie survival plan because I think it's pretty good, and you don't get to have it because then if you have it, you'll do it. And I don't want you to do it. I want to do it myself.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing I don't mind sharing. I feel like too many people's plans are to hide. And while I don't condone, like, roaming the countryside necessarily, I think you should actively kill zombies. And that's something I do like about The Walking Dead. They don't just sit around and go, wall of zombies seems closer today. They go out there and they're like, fucking zombie, get off the fucking fence.
They make an effort to clean up their neighborhood.
That's productive, and I think...
the productivity, they do a lot of let's find a place to hide and hide there, but, keep zombies generally away so that more zombies don't show up because for some reason they have this weird herding mechanic. Oh, more than 5 zombies. Now we're going to get 25 zombies.
Go out there and poke them with a stick for a while. That'll thin them up some.
So, they have the whole prison time, they had the general policy towards zombies of, like, the same policy you get towards nuisance animals that aren't really a threat so much.
Get zombies, get!
Get on out of here! It's so weird. But you want to actively, if they're the kind of zombies that degrade after a while, give it a while. Hide for give it some time for them to slow down. And
soften up a bit so you don't have to be like, oh man, I gotta break through a fucking breastbone? Never mind.
I gotta crack open a skull?
Instead, it's all mushy, great.
Yeah, it's super easy now.
I hit it with a Nerf bat, who cares?
Anything with a rough edge. There is a plan that I won't do, that I don't plan on actually doing, that I think you guys might be interested in, because I think it would work. And if you ever see anyone doing this in Zombie Apocalypse, they listen to this podcast, which means they're a friend listener, and you should not harm them. Dress up like Captain America. My reasoning is such. 1, you got a shield, and that's a great weapon to fend off zombies. It's big, it's round, allows you to get a lot of real estate on your pushing off zombies without having to worry about getting bitten. That's nice. 2, it has a nice edge. It's not sharp, but once the zombies soften up a little bit, like fruit, you can get in there, kill some zombies with it. And 3, of all the regular humans, who many zombie fictions have shown us are the real problem, they're going to be the ones who are going to kill you once the whole zombie apocalypse is over, and it's sort of in the post region. Humans are probably more dangerous. Dress up like Captain America, and no one's going to shoot you, because who's going to shoot Captain America? Nobody. And then, you said what, DC fans?
Yeah, well, I mean, some fuckhead is gonna be like, hey, look at this guy thinks he's Captain America. Nobody's America but Bill O'Reilly.
See, I don't know that that's the case, because everybody loves Captain America.
Maybe. Well, whatever.
Again, if anyone ever actually does that, I will not harm you.
Well, no, I wouldn't either. I'd be like, good for him. Good for Captain America. Keep him away from my people, because no. But otherwise, good for Captain America. So, moving on. One of the big news things, a lot of podcasts, they just talk about what's happened recently in the news. And while we don't want to depress you, listener, there is some good news circulating around. The big thing right now, because BlizzCon's going on, is Overwatch. A lot of people, a lot of buzz.
And so we watched the various trailers, looked up the information, all that sort of thing. And let's start with the positive stuff. I love the IP.
This is going to go places.
Has a lot of style, has a very League of Legends feel, which I like. Has a lot of, what's the best way to put this, character. And I think the actual IP itself has potential as like a property. You could do cartoons, movies, that sort of thing. Just off the first blush with the cinematic trailer, there's room for use there. I like it. Has nice characters, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Colorful.
Oh yeah, colorful. That's good. That's always nice. It makes it stand out from others in its genre.
Yeah. Any other real positives? I mean, the look of the sets and stuff, that was good. The setting seems to have a very unique feel.
Yeah, it's very. They're drawing from a lot of cultures, both well trod and not so well trod. I appreciate that.
On to the not so positive stuff, I guess. The gameplay. We haven't touched it yet, obviously. As you know.
Well, yeah, it's not even in beta yet. I mean, you
Right?
can sign up for it, but it doesn't go into beta until next year.
So we can't know this for sure, but it looks a lot like Team Fortress.
This is basically what everybody's been saying. This is Blizzard's answer to Team Fortress.
Well, that poses a bit of a problem for me, listener at the very least. I believe you as well.
Oh yeah.
I fucking hate Team Fortress.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I hate it. There'd have to be some passion.
I like the property. I do. Like the characters. The very unique sort of spy era 50s art style. Even the cartooniness of it. I like the actual characters in terms of who they are and what they do and their funny jokes. I hate the controls. A lot.
And it's it's not even about the controls for me because I tried to get into it because I live on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty popular.
As we have said many times, I don't live in America. I live on the internet.
But it's just... And I plugged away at it. Like, when we watched WrestleMania through the entire Hall of Fame thingy, I was playing Team Fortress.
Yeah, I've never even gotten that far, listener. I start playing that game, and then, 20 minutes in, I stop. Because those controls are not very good.
It's floaty.
Yeah.
And bouncy. And springy. It feels like the cartoony thing that it is.
And that's not what I want for my first-person shooter mechanics. I want
I'd like
precise
to be
controls.
But that's not even my problem with it. Look, let's be honest. They're not shitty enough that through dedication you could get used to them if there were something there. My problem is, no matter what you play, it feels like you're doing cockle.
And that may be, I gotta agree with that. That might be that we're noobs.
I was playing against bots.
Oh, wow.
Heavy could do some stuff. If I turned on that minigun and wasn't directly in the line of sight of something killer, I could kill a guy or two.
And then you would die.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like...
Look, old school Quake, I died a lot.
Oh yeah, and fucking Halo. Halo's probably my biggest, that and GoldenEye 64, but in terms of an actual game, of a good game, I should say, Halo series is probably my biggest,
Caveat, listener, he doesn't mean GoldenEye isn't good. I do say that out loud. GoldenEye is amazing, yes?
GoldenEye was amazing.
Was amazing, alright, good.
Yeah, when it came out, it was fucking groundbreaking.
We had
incredible.
to say that.
It's a shitty game now.
Dangerous opinions.
Real opinion.
Fair.
I loved that game when it came out. I didn't fucking... Okay, hold on. Alright, you ready? You want me to count the James Bond movies I've watched all the way through, beginning to end?
Please do.
Are you ready?
I am.
GoldenEye.
You done?
GoldenEye.
So you're done.
I'm done. Do you know why I watched GoldenEye, Ultimo? The game. I had a friend who was really into James Bond, and he was like, GoldenEye game, and I was like, alright. He's like, GoldenEye movie! And I went, well, okay. It was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I've seen lots of other James Bond stuff. I've seen plenty of the old stuff on, USA and shit. And I'd like to sit down one day and just watch them all.
Not them all. Not them all. You don't want them all. You don't want...
No, we will take the good, we'll take the bad, we'll take them both, and then we'll have James Bond.
Oh, God.
I broke you.
Don't make me watch Moonraker, please.
Well, you don't have to be there. Whatever movie is fun.
We live in the same house.
You have a job. I have different days off than you do. Anyway. It's not something I'm doing anytime soon.
I do want to watch The Man with the Golden Gun, though. I like that movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I saw a lot of that one. So yeah, it's not like I'm sitting here being a fucking Philistine. No, I've seen plenty of Bond, just not beginning to end, one sitting kind of shit.
Ooh, also, if you could make it so that I could give a pass on Die Another Day.
Shit.
Be super.
But, yeah, I wasn't into Bond. I played GoldenEye because GoldenEye was fucking cool. The level design is awful.
I have not played GoldenEye in long enough to really judge if it's held up.
I have.
Has it? Like, doesn't as in, oh man, I could tell this was using tropes of its time, but it's sort of out of date, or doesn't like Batman, the 1989 movie?
Well, it's a game, so it's hard to compare. Because Batman 1989 movie doesn't hold up because our expectations have gotten higher of maintaining a semblance of the source material.
Yeah, have we mentioned that on the podcast before? I don't think we have.
Briefly in passing, I believe.
Okay. Surprise, surprise, listener. Hint, not a surprise. I know I've mentioned this. I love Batman. So...
No, yeah, remember we tried to do a podcast about not Batman and you made it about Batman?
I love Batman. I have a Batman phone.
Much like the podcast we tried to do about Dungeons and Dragons in general that you made about wizards.
I like the stuff that I like.
Batman and wizards.
Wizard... But I don't like Wizard Batman.
No, because it violates the Batman-ness of Batman.
Exactly. I have a Batman wallet. I have a Batman phone. I like Batman. But anyway... You can ask if any of you know my mom, which would be weird, unless you are my mom. You can ask anyone.
Oh, shout out to me. She's thinking right now.
If any of you have the opportunity, by all means ask. I wore out tapes of this movie. I wore out tapes of this and Batman Returns. So recently, I decided to watch them again to see if they held up. No, they do
Batman
not.
Returns isn't as bad.
Did we watch Returns? I don't think
we
did.
watched it like a couple years ago.
Yeah, we did.
Not even 4 years.
It's still weird. It's still not.
It's exactly as bad as it was when it came out.
Yes, and I still love. I still love the original Batman movie, the '89 version, but it don't hold up.
No, I mean
it don't hold up. It don't. It is a tough sit. It is tough to get through.
But yeah. And I think in that way, I guess the GoldenEye game is, our expectations have been raised, but not about what makes. Because if it weren't about Batman, that movie would be just fine. But
yeah, if it were just about a vigilante, that's a weird but perfectly fine movie.
But the thing about GoldenEye is everything that was so revolutionary and incredible is so fucking old hat now, and our expectations have been raised even higher that it's shit.
I don't know that I could. I don't know that Seinfeld's unfunny is enough to relegate something to shit.
It's not even Seinfeld is unfunny. It is a relic. It is a prototype compared to the shit we're doing 5 years ago, the last time I played a relevant shooter.
That was probably the last time I played a relevant shooter too, and that makes me sad because I liked shooters a lot when I was a kid.
And
maybe it's just as I'm aging, my reflexes are getting slower.
It's the shooters changing, and we live in a society, a gaming culture where you have to have a new one every year.
I mean, yeah, it's
hard to keep up.
I played the Call of Duty games when they were about World War II. I haven't played one more than maybe total an hour since Modern Warfare because I don't like that system.
I played a demo for one once and got really mad at everything and then quit. You were there. You may remember.
For a lot of the same reasons, I don't like Team Fortress. The controls. It's down to the
controls in Call of Duty are too tight, I'd say. It's like, okay, I do like your idea of realism here, and that's cool and everything, but you're making shooting dudes with a gun not any fun.
Which, I mean, very realistic. I highly doubt it's a super great time in real life.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're, harrowed and shit. Not because it's hard.
No, from what I understand, it's very difficult.
Oh, I mean, it is. But, whatever.
But, it's a video game. I'm here to have a good time. If there was a Hamlet video game, probably wouldn't play it. Unless it was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Hamlet that they show in.
I don't know. I mean,
dude, that would be 40 hours, because it'd be an RPG, it'd be at least 40 hours long, of you doing dick all, and then losing a sword fight. Because you got poisoned.
What? That's World of Warcraft.
No.
Yeah, that's what happened to Bloodhook.
But there was stuff that happened before that.
Yeah, he ground to level 90.
But Hamlet didn't.
With Urbing.
Hamlet, bitch!
I like how I convinced you to argue with me about this.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good to argue about this. But,
anyway, yeah. So my time with Team Fortress, I don't think I tried out every class. Maybe I did.
I know for a fact there are Team Fortress classes I have not tried out. I've never played a Pyro.
I love Pyro in concept.
So do I. I love almost all of this in concept.
Oh yeah, the concepts are really nice.
Except for Scout.
I don't know what his point is.
Exactly. He's very...
He's like a shitty version of everybody else with a double jump.
Yes,
Why do I need to double jump? To get closer to something that's killing me?
Yes. So you can get it with your melee weapon, and you can show it your fancy hats.
Oh, right. Pay attention to me. I am taller than all other hat wearers.
I have the biggest EP, measured in hat size.
I can get why they want to decorate their characters. I don't really hate on that much. I mean...
I don't either, but it is something you can mock.
Sure, yeah.
It is very mockable, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, my problem here, okay? When I picked up Halo for the first time in a live match where I wasn't just fucking around with you, I hate Halo's gun selection. Like, there's maybe one gun I like in that series.
He hates the sword.
I fucking hate that fucking sword.
He hates that because I'm good with the sword? Well, I was.
It's just cheap. It's a cheap weapon.
It's like most melee weapons in shooters today. Most melee weapons in shooters today are one-hit kills.
No, and it's... Anyway.
The knife in Call of Duty, big chainsaw fucking gun in... wasn't there?
Gears of War.
Yeah, I was gonna call it Warhammer 40k, only not.
Only shitty.
Yeah, it's like sadder Warhammer 40k.
Man, there was another game. That was free. Gears of War 2, maybe? It was free on the Xbox Gold.
I've played all of 5 minutes of Gears.
Oh, I downloaded it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to give Gears of War a shot. I mean, how can I hate on it if I haven't played it? First of all, shit controls. I like Army of Two, okay? Those controls were ass.
Army of Two's controls were okay.
Yeah, they're fine. They're par.
They're not super great.
No, they're not. No,
but
there's
that
plenty of times where I've accidentally disco danced.
Yeah.
No, don't profess now! Don't profess now! Fuck!
Don't profess while being shot! Profess after shooting people. But that game's character sold it. And then they yanked out all the character.
Yeah, I don't know. And the customization and there's a lot I still like about Army 2, but whatever.
They yanked out a lot of the...
They yanked out a lot of the character of it. And while Alpha and Beta, or whatever the fuck their names are...
Not... Tyson and Rios?
Elliot, Salem, Tyson, Rios.
Salem and Rios. I don't know, because I, in my head, call them S.A. and Rios.
His early 2000s wrestling is all he knows.
It started in my brain, like most jokes, and then it came out of my mouth, and then it never left my brain. And Salem's name was just completely overwritten. It was S.A. and Rios.
But yeah, I know. Gears of War didn't like it. Going back, when I played Halo, the game felt fine. The guns were boring to me, but I felt good using them. Moving around the map wasn't confusing. It was...
He played Halo 2 and 3. Did you play the original Halo?
Yeah, I did. I fucking hated that game.
Yeah, you need to...
Yeah, no, Oh yeah, that wasn't the first time I picked up Halo.
No.
Even still, I didn't like that game because it was fucking boring. I mean, I don't know why people got into it.
I disagree with your assessment that it was boring, and that's probably why... I know why people got into it, because the original Halo was good.
I just didn't care. I mean, like...
Pistols, baby, bang bang.
Okay.
Pistols were really good in that game.
Okay.
Better than like most of the other guns.
I didn't know. All I knew is they were like, "Hey, go across this grassland," and yeah, I don't know, do what? I don't know. It just wasn't fun. 2 was better. I played a lot of 3. I played a pretty large amount of Reach. By then, I was just playing multiplayer. There was a point where I tried to beat the storyline on Nightmare mode, but then I got stuck by the flood in that one scene where the flood is stuck in you.
Yep. I beat Halo 2 on Legendary. And have not really tried to beat any of them on Legendary since. Because I did once, I proved I could, and that shit isn't fun, so I didn't want to do it again.
But despite the fact, the point I'm getting to here is, despite the fact that I'm not interested in Meisterchef and all of his Meisterings, the game felt fine. It felt like I expected a shooter to feel. The controls were tight enough. They were floaty when they needed to be floaty. They were tight when they needed to be tight. I felt like I had complete control of my character. Moreover, when I shot a guy in multiplayer, it felt like I was doing something. He would get hit. Enough hits, he would die. If I were precise enough with whatever weapon I was using, I could reasonably kill him. There are sniper vantage points in the maps of Halo I have played. Which is fucking most of them. Where you can find a place to sit reasonably assured that unless that dude comes up behind you and smacks you in the head, you will be fine. Team Fortress, admittedly, I only played the one... No, I think I played 2 maps, but primarily the one map. The Blood Gulch of the series. The first one.
The Team Fortress.
You guys know what I'm talking about. The one that they send you through the tutorial. That I just kept playing bot matches in there. Doesn't matter what I was doing, doesn't matter where I was. The only real strategy I found that did anything was one of 2 things. 1, be heavy, live long enough to mow things down with your chain gun. You will mow down approximately 2 things.
And then die.
At best.
Okay.
Number 2, be pyro, hide around a corner, burn things. Hope for the best. Usually you will die anyway. I mean, I guess as the engineer, I lived a long time, and I certainly did make a few things, but they didn't do much. And I tried out everybody's sniper. There was nowhere fucking sit as a sniper. It's like, you have to be, like, naked and exposed. That's so counter-sniper logic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, oh, okay, we're gonna play Mortal Kombat. I choose the sniper. Well, you will lose, because where will you snipe from?
The edge of the screen?
You know,
I will just come towards you.
You know what sniping is? Sniping is the fight in Metal Gear, the one with Naked Snake.
It's 3.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the subtitle.
Snake Eater.
Snake Eater, that's it. No, yeah, the song. Why did I forget that? Thank you.
The amazing saw.
Which that's my favorite. I love the 70s Metal Gear series so much more than the original.
Which is so hilarious because you've never seen James Bond.
Well, I know, right? Anyway, lost my mind. Yeah, the end. The fight against the end, that's a sniper fight. That's how a sniper should do. Obviously, he's got optimal conditions there, but if you are playing a game wherein snipers are a thing, you should have vantage points. Vantage points with flaws, so that the sniper isn't the be-all, end-all, but vantage points nonetheless, from where they can snipe. If you fail to deliver that on your intro map, when one of your classes is sniper...
Then why is one of your classes sniper? Is the real question. The game is not, it's not for me. I can't say it's bad.
Yeah, the internet loves it.
I'm sure it's very good. It's just, its controls bother me. For you, it's the fact that there's nothing...
I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
Yeah. For me, it's just I don't like how you're giving me things to do. But,
You know how in practice modes, in fighting games, when you beat up on the AI opponent, their health bar fills back up?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like when I play Team Fortress, that's what my opponents are.
Well, I mean, maybe they are. Maybe that's what the bots do.
God, I hope not. That's a broken mechanic. Why wouldn't they announce that to me? By the way, you can't kill anyone.
Unless you're really good.
Anyway, it's not for me is the point. So with Overwatch, which is what we were talking about, that's really where the selling point lies. You can go Team Fortress style, and I can continue to not care.
Or you can give us something with controls a little bit more for us, and something that feels good, feels
like Halo, like Quake, like Unreal,
feels impactful.
By the way, Unreal and the first Perfect Dark. If you want to know guns I like, games with guns I like. Boy and I have had this conversation a lot because he's baffled by the idea that I don't like the guns in Halo. Unreal's not the best example. Unreal Tournament 2 is what I'm talking about, by the way. Perfect Dark, and to a lesser extent GoldenEye, had the kind of variety I really enjoyed. I could always find something that fit the niche of what I wanted to do.
Which was play odd job and run around throwing hats.
He didn't actually throw hats.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I played GoldenEye.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he had to fucking unlock him with the Game Shark. Or cheat codes. I don't remember.
No Odd Job. That's his...
No, I didn't play Odd Job. I forget who I played.
But...
Turok. I played a lot of Turok, too. That was fun.
I didn't play a lot of classic Turok. I can't remember having played any classic Turok. The only Turok I ever played was the reboot.
That was cool.
I loved that game, actually.
Yeah, it was a little short.
Yeah, a little short, but I liked the storyline.
It seemed like they kind of stopped trying after a while. Because wasn't the last boss the same as a boss that was a while ago?
No, the last boss was like a quick time event.
Oh, so yeah, it was made in the 2010s.
Yeah, QTE, baby.
Press B to win.
It was press B a lot, and then press A some, and then press B a lot. And then I won.
Which really, what is any game? It's just sort of giving you the instructions.
This is the button you press now. It's that it feels like it has to tell me, I think is the problem.
So yeah, I agree. The characters are very interesting. Overwatch.battle.net, I'm sure. Or battle. Fucking look, it's right here. Clickety click click clack. Battle.net/Overwatch. You can go watch the gameplay trailer and the story trailer, and they both look interesting. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters that seem to do different things. They have roles like tank, support, damage. It could be really cool. It could be... Well, I'll put it this way, okay? It could be another Team Fortress. It could be another Halo. Either way, some of you out there in Geekland are shitting your pants in glee.
And some of you are shitting your pants in rage.
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not that far away.
Or find a potted plant.
If you have the internet, you should probably have a toilet. But, I mean, in the end of the day, I'm gonna play it. There's a Mecha Gorilla. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it.
I hate the fact that probably the only character I'm going to like is either not Yasuo or...
I knew you were gonna call him not Yasuo.
Hanzo is his name, which is a cool name, or Reaper. I mean, I hate that I'm being pandered to that hard.
Because you are. Not Yasuo.
Because he's got a bow. That was my favorite weapon in Turok.
Which is the major weapon of samurai, so...
Yeah, that's really cool. But it's probably going to be a shitty game, so what the fuck do I care?
But, yeah, and I love the bow in Turok too, so it's... I'm probably going to like Hanzo, and I'm probably going to like Reaper, but I'm going to play that Mecha Gorilla. I'm going to call him Gorilla Grodd, and I'm going to... Because he has little glassies, and he's a nerd, apparently.
He's beast. He's so beast.
He's Gorilla Grodd.
No, because Gorilla Grodd's a dick.
He did seem like a nice enough dude.
He seemed super nice. He cared about children's.
Oh, but the story trailer is honestly more of a draw for me than the gameplay trailer. It's what's going to get me to at least play the game.
Yeah, the gameplay trailer was just kind of like, yup, it is indeed a first-person shooter, and crazy shit can happen. But what is the context? I don't know until I play it.
This is a game that we cannot judge without having played it. Now, that's not true for all games. There are games that I can look at and go, not for me. I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
Like Dark Souls. I don't want to play that. Not for me.
Man. I
understand that if you play it long enough, you become gaming Super Saiyan or something. You you unlock your Highlander powers and all other games become easy modo to you. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that feels very nice from, an EP perspective, but I'm not Goku. I'm not going to strap weights to my arms and legs to get stronger when I train. I play video games to have fun.
That's essentially my opinion, but I plan on doing a solo video about that at some point. My experiences with Dark Souls.
So, bridging over from that topic to another. What are you playing this week, Spork? What video game would you say you've played the most?
This week?
This just since our last podcast, or recently, because we haven't really been talking about that recently.
Really all I've been doing is playing WoW. I wouldn't say back into League, I am getting my first win again. Because Victor's dropping IP price and I want to grab him, because I've always loved Victor. I didn't feel like paying 6,300 IP for him when I never get to go mid. So, I've got a forest of mids that I never fucking play.
And, you wanted the new spear chick, right?
Yeah, Callista.
She looks cool.
Yes.
Does not look like someone I'm going to be good with.
She's very difficult. I have a PvE account, I tried her out. She's fun. She's going to take a lot of practice.
And building her might be a bit of a challenge.
It just depends on what you need from the match. And as your reflexes adapt, her passive, it lets you...
Orb walk, essentially.
Well, yeah, it lets you finish your attack animation. You can't cancel your attack animation ever. So if you click to move after she started her attack animation, she does a little hoppy dash.
And it's short when you're going towards people and much longer when you're going away from people, so it's a great escape mechanic.
I think it only goes about as far as Graves Dash does. Maybe a little farther.
But it's like every time you attack.
Oh yeah, every fucking time you attack, you can do that shit. With enough practice.
If you're super good, if you are, high level orb walking good, it's instant and infinity kiting.
Yeah, she looks like she's going to be a lot of fun. I think she's going to be a lot of fun bot lane as sort of a hybrid ADC support, given her ultimate and all the shit it does.
And that the item she gets in the beginning of the game,
yeah.
The one used the black sword thing to
tie
make
you the oath sworn
to the other person in lane. There's a lot of gameplay interaction there. I'm looking forward to playing League with him as he's playing that character as like Blitzcrank. Because I want to see if the fadeaway pulls are possible. I want to see if I can blitz hook someone, and then he can activate the thing to pull me to him, and then if the blitz hook will go all the way from where I grab them to him. And if so, there's a lot of fun there. But that's something you'd have to try out. Like, you can do that with Thresh's lantern in Blitz. If you click and hook them and click the lantern as they're coming towards you, you will go all the way to Thresh.
But I'm pretty excited about her. Looking forward to seeing what my Maokai skin looks like, since they're retexturing him pretty heavily. I like his new default. It touches up a lot of his visuals. I hope they increase the model size, because especially compared to new guys like Scion, he looks a little tiny right now.
And he's supposed to be a big old giant tree man.
But
dude, Scion got huge though.
Yeah, I like him.
I'm
glad they're doing some.
I like new Scion a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I'm glad they're fixing his passive.
Because I wasn't a huge fan of old Scion. I mostly just bought him before the relaunch because just in case they gave a legacy skin out, they didn't. But just in case they did, I wanted to have it. But yeah, no, I like new Scion quite a bit. I love his ultimate.
He's amazing in the jungle.
His ultimate is just Gank City.
Yeah, he's great.
Just, I hear yelling, and then Scion comes barreling out of the jungle.
That's the other thing about Callista. The obvious thing you would want to do is tag your support so you can pull them to you, and have the damage bonus. But if you tag your jungle, the ganks.
Yeah, well, see, the problem with that is they would see the ganks coming, because when you get within range of that, it doesn't. There's a thing. There's a tether.
Yeah, and that's fair and everything, but seeing the ganks coming and being able to do anything about it sometimes are two very different things. And with enough teamwork...
Because you can see Hecarim ganks coming, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hecarim ganks from base, right up the lane.
Hecarim cares not. I know he's not viable,
at all.
Top tier shit. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you.
We're bronze. What do I care?
I play bot matches. What do I care? I can't remember the last time I played a live match.
I lost.
Oh no, yeah, Hexakills. Quick light matches.
Yep.
That was fun. I wish I'd
We
played
won
more
one of
it.
those and then lost.
Yeah, we won a couple of them.
Actually, yeah, we did win a couple.
Yeah, too bad. We just didn't play a lot. That's all.
It's just
We're rusty anyway. It's.
I was never very good, to be fair.
But yeah, that's all that. And wow, I'm leveling up my main, my Holy Priest. I'd kind of like to get through Pandaria stuff. Not necessarily on him, ideally, but I kind of want to get through it before Draenor drops so that I have context for when I take my pre-level 90 through Draenor stuff. Because that will be fun. She's a warlock.
Yeah, he bought himself a level 90.
Yeah, because I have another warlock. I have a Destro lock. It's like 83.
Didn't want to level it again. I might, full disclosure, listener, I might be pre-ordering Draenor so that I can not have to level a mage again, because that shit wasn't fun. And I already have a high level mage, and I don't want to do it again. But I might not.
Yeah, you don't play as much as I do.
No, it's just, it might not be a worthy investment, you know? For myself, I've been playing some WoW, some League.
Mostly Clicker Heroes. All day, every day, Clicker Heroes.
Not really. I play it for like 5 minutes a day. I play it for the same amount of time as anyone with Tiny Village or anything like that plays their shit. But yeah, no, I've actually been playing a lot more Skyrim than anything recently. Whenever I have access to it, it's on the laptop I'm usually on. Just can't run it, so I'm usually waiting for him to not be on the other computer. That's a bit of a wait. But
oh, now we're making fun of my weight.
Yep. Yeah, you made fun of my shit. I'm making fun of yours. But
no, I am on there more often than.
But yeah, no, it's. I know I need to get on, 2014 level of playing Skyrim still, but I still fall.
I wish I could still play it. I am upset that I can't. I'm upset that we have it on the computer with access to mods, and I'm like, meh.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, mods. Sweet. I'm gonna try this mod. Or
I can't even fathom what would be a fun mod, other than like making a Khajiit marryable. But that's only because the characters I play would want to marry a Khajiit. And what good does it do me when those characters are on the Xbox?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. You don't want that. There's mods about like going to elsewhere. That'd be pretty cool.
And it's fan elsewhere. If I really wanted to go to elsewhere, I'd.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
I know the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
You would not play.
I tried. When they gave me one of the free beta things, and they were like, "Come play Elder Scrolls Online." I was like, "Sweet, where's elsewhere?" They're like, "I don't know. Follow the signs." I'm like, "I don't think signs are worthless. I hate this game.
Never mind."
I'll just sit around and make fat ass Khajiits for a while and giggle at myself.
Just wow.
Character creation in that game, A++.
Yeah, character creation, great. Everything else, boo. Not very good. Honestly, there's not been a whole lot more. I've been watching a lot of like internet TV and web shows, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Started. That was the cat hitting the table.
He hates the table. He hates that we're not paying attention to him.
So he's trying.
Podcast time is a confusing time for the Gogomus.
Because he's trying to get up on our laps and scratch our legs because we're not currently paying attention to him and he's very needy. Well, I'm trying to think of other things to talk about because we sort of blew through a couple things.
Wasn't anything worth saying, man. I mean, that's what led us to this point. Nothing's really going on in our little corner of the internet. We're awaiting things.
I mean, I'm listening to podcasts. That's one of the reasons that I like.
This is our podcast on podcasts.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm reluctant to mention it. Like,
no, yeah, right on. I understand. I've been working on shit, but it's all like novel stuff and RPG stuff that I'm not going to tell you motherfuckers about because the RPG's not done yet, and I'm not giving you tidbits about it. Sorry. And the novels you probably should read.
Yeah. I mean, I've been reading some. You know what? I could talk about this for a little while. Oyster is a service that I recently started using. They call it Netflix for books. It is exactly that. And let me tell you why. Because I don't think that's as positive a review as people believe. I'm sure that Netflix, anyone of you who has Netflix have experienced the great Netflix dilemma. I want to see this movie. Type. Oh, they don't have that movie. And they give me terrible suggestions for other similar movies based on my query.
The only time that bothers me is when they used to have it on there. Like when we went to find King of the Hill.
And it was gone. And it suggested...
replaced by some bullshit King of the Hill that was not King of the Hill.
And all the comments on it bring back actual King of the Hill.
Yeah. Or when we went to watch Avatar and they took that away from us. Yeah. The Last Airbender, not...
I don't give a shit about the Jane Camps. I don't care about Jane. Look, I watched Fern Gully. I watched fucking Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch...
Oh, that's how hardcore I am. I read Avatar.
I don't need to watch the giant blue version. I don't need to watch Dr. Manhattan plus Dances with Wolves. You'll have to excuse me, White has just become the great Cornholio, and I'm a little confused.
I wanted something on my head. I'm sorry. I don't have anything hat-like around here except the cat, and he's not going to put up with that shit.
Weird fucker. But...
Welcome to the Turners Podcast. Shit happens, it doesn't matter.
Alright, but you all experienced the Netflix dilemma of wanting a specific thing, or one of many specific things, and they have none of them, but they give you shitty B-movie suggestions that are similar, with air quotes. Oyster is the exact same.
I like how you do the air quotes closer to the laptop, like it might hear the little air bunnies.
You never know. Oh god, my hands! But
oh, fuck.
It's the exact same situation. I cannot count the number of books I have searched for. Good fantasy novels that I know exist that I've never read, or interesting, like detective fiction, or this sort of thing that I've read interviews online about, or reviews, or has been highly recommended to me by friends, that I cannot for the life of me fucking find on this service. And I looked into it, and that's because apparently a lot of publishers just hate the idea of a Netflix for books. They think it'll cut into their business.
Probably will.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not like I was going to buy these fucking books anyway. I was going to go to the library and read them. You're really just making me go somewhere to cut into your business. You're making it inconvenient for me.
Yeah, but there's probably enough people that would go, fuck it, I'll just go buy it. That it's profit in the end.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the same argument for people who don't want to license their shit to Netflix, and that's been provably incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, so long as there are licensing fees, I guess. Yeah, you're right there. It doesn't make sense. They have to pay them anyway. Why are you being a tit about it? It's not like they just have to buy the book once and then they're like, sweet, let's share it with the world! Unless that is the way, then I could totally understand why they're like, no, fuck off!
There's a couple of services like this, and they're having a little piss fight with publishing houses right now, and it's a little sad, to be honest. But it's... it has some great stuff on it. It has the, collected works of J.R.R. Tolkien. If you don't have those, you probably should. It has a bunch of stuff from Hunter S. Thompson. Has American Gods on it. And some other stuff. I could pull it up right now, but that'd be super boring.
Two Nerds Podcast reads the TV Guide channel. Oh, hey, look. Oh, yeah, that's Pawn Stars is on. Looks like for at least an hour and a half.
I also watched a movie.
Got Behind the Music. That's cool. Everybody likes that show. I wonder who it's about.
Oh, we looked away. We gotta wait for it to go back around.
Really, we're in that holding pattern. And I really didn't think this was going to happen because... scheduling-wise, I thought we had another podcast in here. It's... so much shit got pushed back. Really. Because right now, listener, we'd love to be talking to you about Dragon Age, Inquisition, but that's not... it got pushed back.
So we were lost, because I wanted to be talking about Inquisition, but it's not... they haven't given it to me yet. It's paid off. Please give it to me.
By this point, we were expecting to be hype for the new SmackDown, new WWE game.
We could talk about that a little bit. So, the new WWE game. I am trying to convince White not to buy it. he has bought pretty much every WWE game. All of them?
No, there's no pretty much. I mean, like, I followed a train. I didn't, like, buy the ones from
other
Xbox
systems,
and GameCube back when I was a PlayStation guy.
But it's the SmackDown lineage that you've been following?
I had Attitude. I had all of the N64 ones. I had Attitude on PS1. Actually, I had Attitude on N64 too. So then I bought all the N64 games. I think I had that in Warzone. And then I went to the SmackDown series when it came out. And I kind of went back and forth between SmackDown and the N64 series because the N64 series was better, but the Attitude games or the SmackDown games also had content that I thought was interesting. Like, they were updated more frequently, so I had a more, current version of the Superstar roster, and I had that appeal. And the FMVs were pretty cool, back when that was a thing. Then I followed fucking SmackDown until it became SmackDown vs. Raw, and then it became WWE 2K.
Whatever. And 2K14, game we loved.
Had its problems.
Like they all do. They all have their problems.
Well, unfortunately, the big problem with that was the Royal Rumble, which is like the thing we do.
It's broke.
I mean, it stops putting me back in.
It stops working, like, arbitrarily halfway through.
Yeah, it is arbitrary because there doesn't seem to be any predictor. Like, you can go out as one dude and come back in as another guy, and then the next guy, nope, you don't come back. Or, like, one player will come back and the other one won't.
Or you won't come back for, like, 20 dudes and then let you back in.
Or the first guy you come through, you never come back.
It was complete arbitrary. It broke one of the major things we do with the game because we have a lot of fun with those matches. And they're great ways to use these huge rosters of characters we make, because the last few games we've had like 100 people.
Yeah.
And so eventually he does fill up those slots, because he gets like this weird OCD where he has to fill the slots.
There are empty things, I must put things in them, yes.
So, this is gonna sound incredibly lame, listener, but we're lame here on the 2 Minutes Podcast, so it's okay. It had the ability, it's become increasingly a pain in the ass over like the last 4 games, but it still had the ability to use custom music for your entrance music.
Really just this game and the last game were a problem.
Since it was introduced. It was introduced, and it made things so much better, because a lot of the wrestlers that we make, because most of what we do is we make creative wrestlers and then we use them, have specific entrance music that isn't in those fucking games, because it's actual songs that we like, or are appropriate for the character, or what have you, because we're giant nerds.
Well, I mean, I run an EFED, so, a lot of those characters are from the EFED.
So they have specific music.
Yeah.
And now that we've had that, now that we've tasted that glorious golden fruit, the new game's not going to have that.
Because current gen systems, except for a recent update with the PS4, don't know what an MP3 is.
Too recent to have been able to put in the game at this juncture. They don't know what an MP3 is because both consoles came up with a proprietary format, so you would have to buy music again on their systems because they're profiteering douchebags.
Hey, capitalism.
Yep. So, we can't do that anymore, and that's a bigger blow to my passion and want to play the game than you might think, because that is a feature that there is no reason for it to have been removed. And it's not the game's fault. The system is the problem, not the game. But it's still no reason for it to have been removed.
Well, I mean, you're right. The reason is that the system doesn't support it, and why would the system support it when it wants you to buy things on the Zune or whatever the fuck format, Xbox Live Music, I think is all it's called, or PlayStation, iTunes. I don't even know what it does.
Me neither.
I can't remember the last time I turned on a PlayStation.
Neither can I.
Yep, I did it by accident 2 months ago when I was cleaning.
Oh, that's sad.
I immediately turned it back off.
Like, no one wants you, PlayStation.
Shut up, PlayStation. But that sucks, because that presentation, timing your pyros just right, making the guy walk out so that he does cool motions and cool parts of the song, Triple H style, that's awesome. It adds a lot of depth to your character and all that shit. But ultimately, it's a Team Fortress hat.
Yeah.
It's important, it's customization, and god damn it, I earned it. But it doesn't affect the gameplay at all.
But there's also other things that are a big blow.
There are other
There
things.
are 25 Creator Wrestler slots. That's one of the major things we use, and there isn't even enough for a whole Rumble.
Well, a 20-man Rumble, yeah.
A real Rumble. Wow.
But for years there weren't, and we never made enough guys. We always filled in the spots with, like, Vince McMahon, the Druid,
I don't know. When there was
red and green.
When there was 30 slots, we filled them.
We eventually did, yeah. But that was when there was, like, I think it had 35 Creator Wrestler slots.
Now that we've filled 100 slots, I guarantee, like, 70 of them with actual, like, the other 30 with complete bullshit, but 70 of them with actual characters. 30 would be constraining. There's whole sections of shit we cannot do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to compensate, the models are so much better.
They are, and that's a big temptation for me because I've seen those models and they're so good.
There's a cool ass tool that you can upload shit through their network from your PC, logos and shit, faces,
like a JPEG, and that's.
PNG, actually.
Right. No, JPEG is one of them too.
Oh, was it JPEG too? Wow, how about that?
It would be like they took away our MP3s, but they gave us JPEGs instead. And I don't know, that's pretty great.
Like, I mean, okay, no, I can't have my made-up pretend wrestler come out, or for fuck's sake, to give you guys some more identity, I can't make myself, and I can't come out to painted black, which I've come out to since time immemorial. But I can have my actual tattoo on my arm with minimal effort. I can have the shading of my actual face, my actual facial hair growth, as scraggly and weird as it is. I can have my favorite t-shirt logos on my actual t-shirt. I can come out looking like a me.
You know what? That is pretty cool.
And you know what? If I have to come out to Randy Orton's music instead,
it's just like I'd probably just end up turning entrances off and not using them.
Probably. I mean, that seems possible. Especially they've cut it down a lot. It is, as you put it, the first entry on a new console system. And you know what?
Next year's game is going to be much better.
Oh yeah, I have absolutely no doubt about that. I guarantee you they're going to increase the roster size for Creator Wrestlers to at least 30. I can understand why they can't go to 100 now. These models are so much better. They take up so much more space. But they will increase it to at least 30, I'm sure. The PlayStation 4 version might be able to stream music off of USB. So you can have your custom music again. It's entirely possible. They will have gotten a lot of the kinks out, added some new shit in the entrances again. But the question is, do I buy it now? Now, there's a couple of factors in there that we need to consider. One, I will not be able to play this game until January, February sometime.
Because Brandy will own the television for Dragon Age Inquisition.
And I mean, let's be honest. Am I going to be like, yeah, Brandy's done playing Dragon Age. Now I can play the rest. No, I'm playing fucking Dragon Age. I've got Canary to make. I've got dwarves to make. I've got worlds to save.
I'll fight you.
You will fight me. And we will have our own wrestling. Who needs Creator Wrestlers when I'm just punching you in the head? And plus there's going to be Pokemon. I'm looking forward to that too. That comes out at the end of the month. I want to go back to my Nuzlocke and Soul Silver and finish that out. That's been on my itinerary for a while, but I'm gonna play Omega Ruby first. I just am.
It's the new hotness.
Yeah, it's gonna come out and I'm gonna be like, I'll play this fucking thing. Because that was, I don't necessarily want to say it's my favorite, but that was the one that I played the most.
That's your nostalgia bomb for...
Yeah, like, I played Red and Silver in order. I mean, but then I played fucking Sapphire. And I fucking played it. I must have restarted my character like 4 times in that thing. I can't tell you how many times I beat the Elite Four in that thing. When I look back and I'm like thinking about my Pokemon team comps, I'm like, oh, this was my team comp from one of my playthroughs in Sapphire. I'm getting Omega Ruby because the villains of Sapphire are not real people. Their whole idea is to flood the world so that there's more oceans. Whereas Team Magma, their idea is to increase landmass so there are more places for people to live. Not get rid of all the water, as a lot of people believe. No, just to increase landmass.
That's not even so much a villainy thing.
They just want to harness the power of a god to do it.
Oh, that's pretty villainous.
That's where they kind of cross the line.
It's just, I mean, they're just Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
From the Superman.
Land!
Sweet, sweet land!
Oh, man.
It's the one thing they're not making any more of.
Well, no, they are in Dubai.
It's
off the coast of Africa.
From the movie.
Well, he's
Superman.
dumb. He needs to.
They weren't doing that then?
Yeah, they were.
No, they won't.
No, they won't?
No, they won't. Shut the fuck up. Well, listener, it's been a long, meandering journey to get us here. We talked about many, many things. And I like to think we made them a little better. Because, as we say, everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get high!